I've owned the C6 for about 2 years now, and I'm going to go over in about 2 minutes what you might want to know before buying one. First, 4 things have gone wrong on this car since I bought it. The harmonic balancer went out when it got flooded. There was no engine damage, but I'm almost positive the harmonic balancer went out because of the flood, but I can't confirm that. The radiator cracked last GAT when I was driving on the Tail of the Dragon pretty hard, and then the GAT before that, the starter went out. That's because the connections, they tend to burn out from what I read when I was having the issue. And then the fuel pump sender unit on the passenger side, I'm pretty sure has gone out because I don't have a fuel reading now. Now the car just hit 90,000 miles. It's not that bad. Some of the issues were because of the flood, I guess, so that doesn't really count towards the mileage. The starter and everything like that, that's a kind of a usual issue. The radiator, I don't think as much. That was more my fault. Now, when you're looking at these on Marketplace, you're probably going to notice a big price difference between things, and you might not know why, but if you look at the year, it'll probably tell you. 2008 to 2012 plus whatever are going to be your LS3. That's going to be the 6.2, which is the better motor. It's more breathable, things like that. I don't know everything, but LS3 is just the go-to one. 2005 to 2008, which tend to be the cheaper ones, are the LS2, which is the 6.0. That's why they cost less, everything, because people don't want them as much. They're not as sought after. They're going to be cheaper. So if you can't afford an LS3, get an LS2. It's really not going to matter unless you're trying to push a crazy amount of horsepower. Now, the other thing is the wide body. You might notice that the rear of this is wide bodied and the front of it is narrow, as well as the front bumper is the base model front bumper, because it is a base model, surprisingly. Now, I put the rear wide body on this myself. I wrapped it myself because I did the whole car myself. The cost was about $2,000 just for that. I don't know what it would be if you had to get it painted by someone, but that was the cost for me. And some people might not know this, but all the parts on this car pretty much you could take off. There is no C-pillar that you have to take off a whole quarter panel. You can take this whole fender off just by itself, and you can basically just throw on the wide body. It's a completely new fender that goes. I'm not exactly sure what the whole plan of the front fenders are. I probably will wide body the front. I'm not completely sure yet, but for now the rear is wide body. One thing to consider if you're going to do this is this part back here is unless you have stock fenders, that's going to be plastic. Then the only aftermarket option is carbon fiber, which is $500 for 2 of these little things. So it's pretty expensive, but other than that, the ones that come with wide body are going to be your Z01, Z06, and Grand Sport, and then the base model Z51 is going to be narrow body. So for me, who didn't know a lot about Corvettes like that much before buying one, the narrow body does look a little worse than the wide body, but you can always wide body it if you can't afford the Z06, Grand Sport, whatever. But yeah, that about covers it.